Do you have any idea which utensil came first? The answer might surprise you, and at the end of this, I'm going to tell you which utensil came first. If you like this video, if you like this channel, subscribe, like, please ask me questions. Right now, I am going to tell you something different, not about the utensil, but about one of the really cool food places, Eataly. I just went to Eataly, and it's very cool. So Eataly is not Italy, but it does give you the Italy experience. You could say the Eataly experience. It's very cool. So Eataly is in West Valley Shopping Center, and I have to admit, it's been a while since I've been to West Valley Shopping Center. And my first experience of Eataly was really interesting because I've been to West Valley so many times, Valley Fair, West Valley, and I just haven't been there in a long time. And it used to be that you would go, and the second floor, there was about maybe an eighth of the mall that was a big food court. The food court's still there, but they've done a lot of work to Valley Fair. They've done so much work there. And then you have Santana Row across the street, but it seems like Valley Fair has really upped their game. For a long time, you just go there and the traffic is a nightmare, which hasn't changed, by the way, but I did go Monday morning, and I think Monday morning might be one of their slow times, or so it seemed. And in going there, I went with my dad, and he loves Italian food, and I thought it'd be a great time for us to go and spend some time together and get some good lunch. And I was right. And going into Valley Fair and going into that shopping center, not a lot has changed as far as it being pretty busy and a lot of space to park. One thing to know is that when you walk in to get to Eataly is quite an experience in itself. So there are 3 separate floors to Eataly. The first floor, when you first walk in, is pastries, and then to the back is a coffee, kind of a bistro pastry feel. And it's really, really cool. The second floor, that is going to give a real wine type experience. When you walk in there, if you like wine, I can't think of any type of wine that they didn't have. And every person that I talked to that worked there about wine was extremely knowledgeable. And it also seems like they are planning to really scale this to a much bigger area inside the mall, because they do have a school, and currently the school is about wine, so you can get a bottle of wine, or you can get samples of wine that they have open. There's a $15 corking fee, so you buy a bottle of wine, you cork it, and then you can drink it throughout your Eataly experience, which is really cool. You can sit there kind of in the wine area, you can go upstairs, you can go downstairs, and you can drink it. And if you get another bottle of wine, let's say you're really thirsty, you love grapes, get another bottle of wine, that same corking fee will stick. I was not able to, however, find out if it would work in the restaurant, if you get the $15 corking fee on the second floor and then go into the restaurant and keep that same corking fee, because the restaurant actually has a higher corking fee. So I'm not sure how that would work. Nobody could actually answer that question, either from the restaurant or from the wine area. And so you have this, on the second floor, you have the wine, and that is very cool. So on the third floor, there are 2 separate restaurants. This is important to know because I actually booked reservations online. So there's the restaurant Terra, and that one's located on the 3rd floor, and that is a rooftop restaurant and lounge. It's inspired by earth and fire. And what's really cool about Terra, and that's actually where we ate, is it's an open door type of experience, or an open floor type of experience, where you're on the top floor and the doors that are there and the windows that are there are all open. So it's an accordion type of door scenario. So you really do feel like you're on a terrace, which is fantastic and very nice. The other one is La Pizza and La Pasta. That's about as much Italian as I can speak. La Pizza and La Pasta features 2 of the best loved Italian dishes, which is Napoli style pizza and artisanal pasta. Now, they're both on that floor. They're both on the 3rd floor. So the Terra and La Pizza and La Pasta are both on the 3rd floor. When you book reservations online, make sure that you're designating whether it's La Pizza, La Pasta, or Terra. There is a difference. Fortunately, we had booked La Pizza, La Pasta, and we actually were able to get seated in Terra, because at the time that we went, it wasn't very busy. Apparently, Monday at 11 o'clock, seems to be the best time to go. As we were leaving around 11:45 to 12 o'clock, then it was starting to get busy for sure. And the mall itself, of course, kind of picks up around that time also. But again, Monday, not a whole lot of people there. But the Eataly experience was actually very nice. So after we ate at Terra, we went in on the 3rd floor. And if you've ever been in Italy, I've had the pleasure of being in Italy. And one of the coolest things about Italy is the open air markets. And Eataly has done a really good job of recreating that experience. All of the produce was really, really good. The bread looks fantastic. And then they have a really nice meat section, a really nice fish section, and they also have a nice wine section up on the 3rd floor as well. So it's its own market, and it's all Italian market. So just about any cheese you could possibly think of. And they have a lot of really good meats. They have veal, things of that nature that you might not be able to find someplace else. And then the fish, everything is a very high-end store. The prices, I was actually fairly surprised with the prices. The prices are actually not out of this world. And so it was actually really kind of nice and refreshing to be able to go there and to experience that, kind of walking around and experiencing the market and looking at the fresh produce and smelling all of the wonderful bread smells and all the different pizzeria smells. And they also make their own pasta, as they should, since it's Eataly, just like Italy. But everything they make there is fresh. And so it really is like Whole Foods kind of exploded into Italian area, its Italian section, and everything there in Eataly is pretty incredible. Now, with the Eataly expanding, as you walk into the mall down the 2nd floor, you really see that Eataly is coming soon all over the place. And it's on the same floor in the same section that it currently is. So Eataly, it looks like, is looking to expand tremendously and really almost take over the Valley Fair Mall, quite frankly. Now, which utensil was first? So a couple different things here. Which utensil was first? The chopsticks. The Chinese were taught to use chopsticks long before spoons and forks were invented in Europe. The knife is older, not as an instrument for dining, but as a weapon. And so the chopsticks were first. The knife is older, but it wasn't used as a utensil, it was used as a weapon. And what's interesting, and I get this from Miss Manners actually, Miss Manners actually states that, because the question a lot of times is putting the fork on the left and putting the knife on the right. And the only thing I know about that is you put the fork on the left because it's L-E-F-T, matches F-O-R-K, and knife, K-N-I-F-E. Knife matches R-I-G-H-T, K-N-I-F-E. So 5 letters on the right and 4 letters on the left. That's about as far as I've ever gone with it. Now the purpose for it is that the fork is actually to hold and cut. So that's the purpose of the fork going on the left and the knife going on the right. Up to that point, now according to Miss Manners, the fork actually was always used on the right, if I'm understanding this correctly. The fork was always used on the right, and it was actually the North America who had used it on the right. And what Miss Manners says is that people persist in believing that American table manners deteriorated from their traditional European roots. The opposite is true, Miss Manners says. The European method blossomed in America, but was severely pruned in Europe. A brief history. Europe, with the exception of Italy, adapted tardily, reluctantly to the use of the fork. As late as the early 19th century, some British country aristocrats were still holding out for tradition by declaring, "My grandfather ate with his knife, and it's good enough for me." Up to that point, before the fork actually was used and accepted by all, they used a knife, and they used the blunt end of a dull knife, which I found to be very interesting. And she also goes on to say, knives, spoons, and fingers were the implements of choice to spear, slurp, and grab. Only one was needed at a time, so only the right hand was used. When the fork gradually came into European use, it too was brought to the mouth from only the right hand. And this was the correct European way of eating, and European settlers brought it to America, where it remains the correct method. But in relatively modern times, Europeans started speeding things up by eating the fork in the left hand, even after it is used to steady food that is being cut by a knife held in the right hand. Those who point out that the European manner is more efficient are right. Those who claim it is older or more sophisticated etiquette has never considered getting food into the mouth faster a mark of refinement are wrong. So I find that to be very interesting. Give me a call if you have any questions, of course, about Eataly or even the fork and knife, and especially about real estate. But if you have any questions at all, please let me know what your thoughts are about Eataly as well. I really want to hear them. And I probably missed something. I may have missed something. The food that we had was great. We had some enchilada. I had the mushrooms. I had the spaghetti and the pasta, of course. And it was really good. The eggplant is also very tasty. I hear the pizzas are amazing. But let me know your thoughts as well. 408-393-9294. Talk to you soon.